Well, the secret's out of the bag. San Diego's a great place to be. They say that our population of about 3 million will grow a third by the year 2020. To understand how crazy that number is, at the beginning of the 20th century, this same region counted less than 40,000 residents. Everyone that comes to San Diego loves it, and I don't blame them.
I just want the love. Yeah, I just want the love. Well, I'm looking for a gal who knows what love is. One who'll hang round till the end.
It's funny to hear people that moved here 5 or 10 years ago talk about how much things have changed. But they're right. I was driving into downtown the other day and I noticed all the high-rise construction cranes. I was surprised. I think I stopped counting after like 10. Since its beginning, San Diego has been continuously changing. Sometimes faster than other times, but always things are different. This is a great old film of downtown in the 40s. I'd recognize that fountain if you put it on the Jersey Shore. Actually, I've never been to the Jersey Shore, so I don't know if I'd even recognize that. I love the stop signals back then. Back this up and look in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Check it out. Cool. They say that the freeways are packed, there are too many people, and the cost of housing is out of control. And well, all these accusations are true. Yet people continue to come. Why? Because San Diego is just a great place to be. I'm never leaving. 10 minutes outside of downtown, the word change isn't very popular in my little neighborhood of Ocean Beach. If you've never been here before, some say OB hasn't changed much since the 70s, and in a lot of respects they're right. Back then, Ocean Beach was known as a haven for hippies and bikers. These are some cool pictures taken by Steve Rao back in the 70s. Usually Steve was behind the camera, so this is a rare shot of him on the right and his friend Sonny McIntyre on the left. Back then, short hair wasn't an option and parking was free. He told me he'd take his camera everywhere because there was always something happening in OB. This is a great shot of some hitchhikers leaving town. Check it out. If you look close, you'll notice the price of gas. Just under 26 cents a gallon. And if you wanted the good stuff, it'd be about 29 cents. One thing that dies hard around here is the hippie crowd. The other day, I noticed a gathering out in front of South Coast Surf Shop. So I decided to stop and talk a while with these guys, and I was kind of surprised at a couple things I learned. First, some of their names. There's String Bean, and this is Stick and Ewok. But more than that, I was surprised at how far they had all come just to be an OB. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Texas.
How about the rest of your friends? You guys all from Texas?
No, from Tempe. I don't know where he's from. He's from Massachusetts.
I'm from Tennessee.
Tennessee?
Chattanooga.
How about you? Where are you from? What's your name? String Bean?
Yeah.
String Bean.
I'm from Greenfield, Massachusetts.
Greenfield, Massachusetts. And then how about you?
Tempe, Arizona.
Really? OB. Why OB?
Because it was the first cool town in California.
What makes OB cool?
You can sit here and people
right
talk to you
near
when
the
they walk
beach.
by, and there's a lot of hippies here.
String Bean said this was the last stop on the String Cheese Tour, and they'd all be moving on to another town. Now, don't ask me what the String Cheese Tour is. I have no idea. But I do know lots of people pass through Ocean Beach every year, while some make it their home. Take, for example, Ruth Vallon. She's been an OB since the first grade. Ruth and her family had a little grocery store and a house on Voltaire Street, just about 3 houses down from where Jack in the Box is today. Some of her fondest memories are the Balboa Exposition and riding the OB trolley with her girlfriends. This is a picture of her graduating class from OB Elementary. Ruth said over the years the biggest change she's noticed is her disappearing view of the ocean, but that doesn't get her down. Our time together was great. She shared some cool stories of old Ocean Beach, and I shared my iPod. She asked if I invented it, which I could only answer quietly, I wish. And oh, maybe I forgot to mention, Ruth is 100 years old. She turned 100 in August, and this is her advice for us all.
To be happy and look at the good things in life. Everything's good if you look for the good. But you don't want to dwell on anything that that you don't like. There's good in everything is the way I figured.
I hope I look that good when I'm 100. Thanks for the wisdom, Ruth. Ocean Beach wasn't always known as the last stop on the string cheese tour. In fact, in the late 1800s, OB was being promoted as a beachfront resort by Billy Carlson. Carlson would have big mussel roasts on the beach to draw buyers, and on April 24, 1887, 1,000 people turned out and the 22-year-old promoter sold 2,500 lots. That day, Carlson's promotion hooked a very important buyer for Ocean Beach in David Charles Collier. DC, as his friends knew him, found himself a nice piece of property at the foot of Coronado Street where he built himself a house and named it the Alligator Lodge. Collier would soon be known as the true father of Ocean Beach. When I heard that, I thought, why? Carlson scouted the area, bought it, named it, and sold most of it, which is all true. But after the boom collapsed, OB was pretty much deserted by Carlson and stayed sort of rural for 20 years. That is until 1907. DC, seeing the possibilities of Ocean Beach, set a goal to make it a livable community. He established all the utilities throughout Ocean Beach, including water, electricity, and the telephone. Everything except the sewage system, which came later. Call me crazy, but I think I would have started on that one first. Collier was responsible for a lot of firsts in OB. The first school, OB Elementary, I went there. Planted some of the first trees. He had the first car, and I guess you could say he had the first boombox. Back then it was called a phonograph, a Berliner gramophone. Pretty cool. He also paved the roads and established a solid running streetcar line from downtown, which ran throughout OB. I think the coolest thing Collier was responsible for was the transferring of all the animals from Wonderland Park when it closed to help form what is today's San Diego Zoo. Soon came a new hotel and a new movie theater, The Strand, and by the early 1900s, Ocean Beach really began to take shape. I'd have to agree, DC Collier is the true father of Ocean Beach. It's amazing the effect one man can have on a neighborhood. Which leads me to this guy. Meet Pat James. Pat and his wife Susan own and operate the James Gang, a custom graphics t-shirt and printing company located down on the corner of Bacon and Santa Monica.
He's a little rough around the edges, but it's not the edges that she's looking for.
About now, you may be saying, okay Noah, how can a t-shirt guy make any sort of difference in a neighborhood? And this is what I'd say. Pat is one of 5 brothers, hence the James Gang. And in the mid-1970s, his brothers started a small t-shirt printing company.
Back in 1976, my brothers started screen printing t-shirts in Ocean Beach, and I used to come down and visit them, and I'd sit up in the craft building where they were in business, and I'd just look down on the street and just fell in love with Ocean Beach. Their business really took off, so I decided that it was time for me to move down. I came down and joined them in business, and I've been here ever since.
The James Gang began to grow, and eventually they moved into the corner building of Newport and Cable. As business expanded, so did their involvement with the community, and one day they had an idea.
Well, we thought it'd be cool to do something for the community for the 4th of July, like a fireworks display off the end of the pier, and then we could raise money.